Good morning. Leaving the Laughing Heart Hostel right now. Getting back on trail. Walking through Hot Springs, North Carolina. One of the few, maybe the only, where the trail goes right through downtown. So first, we climb down these stairs. The hostel is over there, the brown building. And yahoo, doing this first thing in the morning is always fun. Basically just walking down here, and we go all the way down, then up this road to downtown right there. And continue on the trail, start jumping up 2,000 to 3,000 feet right off the bat. Because you come way down to about 1,400 in town, and then you're back right up around 4,000 or so within a few moments. So, all right, I'll show you the town when we get there. Diner here called the Smoky Mountain Diner, I believe. Here, look at the sign. Yep, Smoky Mountain Diner. This is probably one of the more famous ones on the trail. Unfortunately, I did not get to eat there because I got here on a Sunday and they were closed on a Sunday. But I hear they have awesome breakfasts and good food. I love looking for the diners. Get to meet the locals and see where the locals hang out. Always a fun thing. There's the Dollar General where I resupplied last night. Coming near the big metro area downtown here in a few moments. Right over here is a motel, which nobody's at right now. But from my understanding, this, along with the hostels, are packed full. It's called Alpine Court Motel. That's packed full come mid-hiker season bubble, which I don't know, several weeks ahead of the bubble, so definitely not overflowing with hikers at this point. But here we're coming into the major metropolis of Hot Springs, North Carolina. I hope I haven't said Hickory, North Carolina anywhere on this video. I keep making a mistake of wanting to say Hickory for some reason. I know this is not Hickory, obviously, but for some reason a mental block is in my head, and I keep wanting to say that. Alright, I'll keep this rolling as we walk through the downtown. Really nice views with the mountains in the background and everything, but those mountains there is what I'm climbing up here in a few moments. You got everything you need. Got a post office right there. Hardware store right here. Got to have your hardware store. No matter what size town you are, you got to have a hardware store. What if you run out of nails and screws and you need to get them? Well, you don't want to drive 40 miles for nails and screws, right? So you come to the hardware store. And here's nice rushing water. Glad I don't have to cross that. Over here you got a tavern. And got an outfitter store right up here with the green awning in front of me. There's a pizza shop down here. This is really cool, man. That it's such a trail community town. Have these logos all the way across the trail in downtown. Little grocery cafe thing there. There's the Brick Oven Pizza. You got a little public library. Back there where that brown building is where I ate that Mexican food last night. And you even got a real estate here. But that is pretty much downtown. Now we're getting out of town and going back in the mountains. But I wanted to share that with you because it's pretty cool that this town is kind of based around the Appalachian Trail, and they love their people here, their hikers, and cool thing that you walk all the way through town on the trail. All right, continuing on, let's climb these mountains. Pretty wide river. Nice home up there. I bet it's nice and warm in there. It's not very warm outside right now, but it is going to get warm today. I think it should be like 75 degrees. So it's going to warm up in no time once that sun starts popping up. But right now it's probably 40 and a little windy, so a little chilly. And I didn't put many layers on. I just have my base layer and a t-shirt. Nothing warm on top of it, just because I know it's going to get really warm here soon. And climbing up a mountain, yeah, I'm not going to want to take stuff off immediately, so I figured just don't put it on in the first place. You know, that's beautiful, but I'm just going to tell you, if I had to cross that to continue on the Appalachian Trail, this would be the end of my Appalachian Trail. That does not look fun at all for me. Nope, 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 nope. Out of all the things on the PCT that give me stress and anxiety, it's when I hear that noise, rushing water. I used to have bad dreams because I would sleep next to them because I always wanted to cross them in the mornings because they're a little lower. Obviously nothing this wide. It's a pretty good running river right here. It looks awesome. I don't mind walking next to it, but there's no way I would cross that. I can barely swim. I'm not going to say I can't swim, but I can barely swim. And that does, yeah, this Florida boy who loves to be at the beach does not like water in that way. I like to chill at water, hang out at the ocean, at the edge, maybe go in up to my waist and just chill out. So there you go. There's one of my weaknesses, one of my fears, for those who didn't know, is extremely rough waters, wide waters, deep waters. There's no way I would cross that. Somebody would have to come and pick me up and drive me over a bridge, or I would just walk to find a bridge. All right, continuing on dry land. So earlier when I walked by that rock wall that I showed you, I'm standing on top of that right now. Right down there's the river, still quite noisy even up here. Big solar field looks like over there. Right there. And here's the beautiful views all around Hot Springs, North Carolina. And right down there is downtown Hot Springs that I just walked through, coming up this mountain. So still continuing on, going higher and higher and higher, getting back to 3,000 and 4,000 feet here very quickly. view so far today. Wow. Love it. I just ran into Smoking Boots. For those of you who don't know that name or can't remember that name, or maybe you haven't been watching all the videos, which you should, he was on the beginning, not day one, but the beginning when I flew into Atlanta Airport, got picked up by the shuttle and brought to Amicalola Falls, but a little bit late. The park office was closed, or visitor center was closed, and started the next day. But he was on the shuttle with me. He opted to go up to Springer Mountain to start while I started at Amicalola Falls. So he was basically 8.5 miles ahead of me. And just now, what is it, day 20, I think? Just ran across him again. So he's been keeping a really good track. He's the gentleman who, boy, I forget the age he told me, 60s or 70s, one of the two. But he's done the CDT several times, and a strong hiker. So I'm keeping a pretty good pace. That pace is getting ready to go into overdrive these next few days, actually the last couple days, and on, feeling that fire burning in me that it's go time. But up to this point, he's keeping a really good pace because he's been consistently ahead of me, it looks like, till now, and he basically took a couple zeros to eat in town, which I had to do in the last week as well, take a couple zeros. So we seem to have a pretty similar pace at this point. So it was cool to run into him, though. Someone you see like 20 days ago, and you know, you're just a few miles between each other pretty much the whole time. Pretty cool. My hair is wild today. I haven't got my bandana to put on yet, but I'm going to. It's going to be a warm one today. Keep that sweat out of my eyes. Little update on my physical body. Back is already hurting a little bit today. I kind of woke up hurting. Not too bad. Definitely manageable. Might just have to do some stretching and take the pack off every once in a while to do some stretching throughout the day. Actually woke up with, well, last night, my feet were just hurting like awful. The heel, the arch, the toes, pretty much all of it. I mean, it was almost a 20-mile day yesterday. Nothing too hard. A lot of descent. So that could be it, or it just could be that I needed some vitamins in my body. But definitely went to bed a little sore in the feet, but woke up still a little sore in my heel, and that was pretty much it. Just, you know, all together soreness, like I needed a good foot massage. But, you know, my baby's not here, so I didn't get a foot massage. I tried to do it myself, but that wasn't that great. But it was still hurting when I started, but the funny thing, about half a mile in, good as gold. It was pretty much just my feet saying, hey, we need to be walking. Why aren't we walking? We need to keep moving. That's what we do, is we get you moving. So right now, I have just a little bit of pain in the back, and everything else is good as gold and strong like a machine. So let's hope that keeps up. You know, big miles over the next few days. I think it's about 65, 70 miles to Irwin. And that's where I'll be resupplying for next. Here in probably 4 days. I'll probably do 3 like 20-mile days, and then, you know, leave that last little bit for that last day, like I like to do. That way I don't really have to take a zero. I can still hike and then stay in town and resupply and everything. I might be repeating myself. I don't know. I feel like I might have said this on the last video, but anyway, that's the loose plan right now. It's going to be gorgeous weather over the next 4 days. Couple nights going to get a little chilly, but nice sunny or partly sunny weather before a little rain comes in, I think, on Friday, and this is Monday. So that's the weather report for now. So could change in a second, obviously, but going to be some great days of climbing mountains and conquering. Base layer off, bandana on, water bottles filled, and snacks in my pocket. Nice little 5-minute break to get things ready for the heat that's coming in and the climbs that are coming up. Ready to conquer. Here's a dam pond A damned pond. It does not look very refreshing. I am glad I already have water. It's very stagnant right there. That's the first pond or lake I've come across on this trail, and about 280 miles in. Kind of cool. Wish it was a better looking pond, but it still looks cool. Nice glass looking still water for reflection. Just don't drink it. The trail goes on this dirt road up here on top of this small hill or mountain, whatever you want to call it, or small mountain or hill, I should say. It looks like it goes on for about a mile or so, just walking this road before the trail breaks off again. So it's kind of different type of terrain up here. Almost looks like a hilly Kentucky or southern Indiana or southern Ohio. Just some hills, really nice views, but definitely some green grasses and such going on too. There's the road from back there where it came from. So here I'm on a one-lane bridge that is closed, but goes over this major highway, whatever it is. Mountains on both sides, and getting ready to climb up this next mountain. So climbing up this next mountain here, 2.4 miles, about 1,200 up, and it's been kind of cruisy the last couple miles, basically going down to right over that main road. That bridge went over it. Some really cool stuff today. There's that one little piece of land that, you know, kind of right before starting to head down, I guess, into the gap, kind of looked like Kentucky or southern Ohio or something, or southern Indiana. Really cool. And then that road walk for like a mile, that was different. And go to the gap, and now we start climbing up again, going to the next mountain. And this mountain has a tower. I'm excited. Of course, you already knew that. But we're going to continue on 1,200 feet up in the next couple miles, and we're going to conquer a mountain. So just a quick PSA here as I'm still climbing up this mountain. I just had a couple of hikers, or I don't know, they didn't really have much on for backpacks, so if maybe they're just going for a walk, or maybe they were trail running and decided to slow down for a second, but they were going downhill. I'm going uphill. I get it. Some people may not know this. So I'm going to tell you, professional courtesy, now trail courtesy, is that the people going downhill step to the side for the people going uphill. I end up getting out of their way because they were not moving, and whatever, I'm not upset at them, maybe they just didn't know. But I thought I would take that opportunity to tell all my listeners that is the right way to do things. If you're going downhill, get out of the way for the people going uphill. Thank you. The Appalachian Trail goes down here, and here is a side trail to the Rich Mountain Fire Tower. Yup. To the tower we go. All right, at the top of Rich Mountain Shelter. Summit, I mean, not shelter. At the top. Now let's climb this tower. Ran out of railing with my hand there. Whew. Yeah, baby. All the way around. There's a nice cell phone tower, I guess. That would explain why I had some good signals here. Oh, yeah. Great views up here. A little bit hazy today. Clouds kind of hiding the sun. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning views here at the Rich Mountain Summit and Fire Tower are both in the bag. Climbing another summit. Don't know the name yet. I'll know it when I get up here. I'll look it up. But I just got off the phone with my fiance, and it was a good conversation. It's great to touch base. Did not get phone signal hardly ever on the PCT, but that's okay because I didn't really have anybody that was missing me. So this is great that I'm doing the Appalachian right now, and I get those breaks in the signal. But the one thing that really tells me how in shape I am, I always call her, or we talk, it seems like, able to get signals when I'm climbing a mountain. Yeah, 15, 20, 25% grade. And there's been a couple of times that I realized I climbed 800 feet or 1,000 feet while I was on the phone with her. And I just keep going and talking, listening, talking, keep going, listening. That's how I know I'm in shape. Because one of the hardest things to do when you're climbing up is talking. Because you're literally blowing air and oxygen out of you. And obviously when you're climbing, you're gasping for oxygen sometimes because you're out of breath. So the fact that I could do that and I get very minimally out of breath, that's a great feeling. Like, man, I could talk to my baby for 20, 30 minutes walking up a big steep hill, big steep mountain, and not get that much out of breath. I love the fact that my body's getting this strong in my upper 40s. Woo! Here's a sign that says, hunting, no guns or dogs allowed except during fish by special. Very understandable sign. Standing here on the summit of Spring Mountain. It's another viewless mountaintop. But nonetheless, Spring Mountain is in the bag. Here's a shelter right on the trail. I'm going past this one's way too early, but it's a little rough looking. Look at that, a piece of warped plywood laying down. Doesn't look like it leaks or anything, so that's good, but Apparently the water is down here, so I'm going to go get some water and then continue on. Over there you got some dark mountains, some lighter mountains. Come over here, and this one right in front is green, a lot of pine or evergreen. In the background is a tanner one. Some darker ones with tan in the background. I don't know if those all show up, but it's really cool. Some of them probably, because of the types of trees, maybe the type of ground or leaves or whatnot, rock. And then, of course, part of it is just the shade that's hitting from different directions of the clouds and the sun and all that. But looks pretty cool walking right into that. Going downhill, then going back uphill, and then downhill, and I think another big uphill. About 13 miles in right now, a little over 8 more to go to get to the next shelter that I'm wanting to get to. But who knows, I might stop before then and just set up camp in my tent and go that way, because I don't know, it just depends. There's a lot of elevation, so it really depends on what the type of terrain is, on whether I'll eat before I get to that shelter. That way, because I might be getting there right at dark, or I might be getting there at 6 o'clock, an hour before dark. So all really depends on the terrain and how fast I'm going up and down and everything. Feeling strong though, gonna keep on going. It's definitely gonna be a 20+ day. About 16 miles in today, 4,226 in elevation, and I'm getting ready to climb up another one. About a total of 1,900 and something feet to go to the next shelter, which is about 6 miles away. Put me about 22, 23, somewhere in there. Miles for the day by the time it's all said and done, and well over 6,000 in elevation. Getting a burner today with a late start, so that's always a good feeling. Kicking it into high gear. That burning fire inside of me that drives me on has gotten much brighter the last couple days, and we're just gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And when we need breaks and when we need food, we're going to stop and take food. For those of you that are new, the reason I say we all the time, because I really record these in a way to make you feel like you're right here with me. So if you were here with me, I'd be saying we. As you can see, there's no one behind me. There's no one in front of me. Just out here doing my own thing. I run into hikers here and there, but we don't hike together. We don't camp together for the most part. Sometimes we end up at the same place, but usually it's a drop and go to sleep and get up and start again. Logan, I've probably been around more than anyone, but we're not. We got, separated some time back. I'm sure we'll see each other again, but yeah, we're not. We're a couple days apart, I believe. So just continuing on with myself and me and all of you. So let's get some more mountains. I forgot what I'm doing. Let's get some more mountains conquered today. Woo! So far out here, there's been very minimal dangerous things. You're never way up on a cliff with a huge drop off. There's always trees there. And again, I'm talking so far. I know that's going to definitely open up in the New England states, but even before then, probably Virginia and such. The weather hasn't been bad. It's obviously always something you got to be prepared for, though. It gets really cold at night sometimes, and of course the rain and, hypothermia. All things you need to look for. But And then you got ticks and you got rattlesnakes and all these other things. Same thing you have in nature all the time. But the one thing that I think could be more dangerous than anything so far is this right here. When you have a trail that's covered deep in leaves and you're cruising, going down, because you can't see the roots, the rocks, and whatever other debris might be under there. So you got to be very careful. But even when you're very careful, those things are hidden. I probably trip 2 or 3 times a day on a root, and those things don't move. If you step on a rock, you might roll it a little bit. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it could be a bad thing on your ankle. But yeah, I trip on those roots 2 or 3 times a day. I kind of go flying. So far, I catch myself most of the time. The 3 times I have fallen so far have been where I slid and wasn't able to catch myself and kind of went down gracefully. But those roots, I'm telling you. So be careful when you're out here. Don't be cruising too fast downhill, because you can't always see these things when they're in the leaves. Be very careful, because you don't want to go flying off the edge or rolling down a hill and ramming into a tree or go head first into a rock. A lot of different things that could happen just from tripping when you're cruising pretty fast. So always be careful as much as you can. Ladies and gentlemen, it is March the 6th, and it is hot. I'm up in the mountains, like 4,000 up right now. And it feels like it's about 80 degrees. It might only be 75 because I am climbing right now, and that makes it feel a little warmer, but wow. It is warm. About 4 miles from the end for the day. Unless I decide to stop early. It's pretty much uphill for the most part. I think it's about 1,400 left now and 300 down in the next 4 miles to get to the shelter where I'm going to camp. Whew, a breeze, a slight breeze. Feels really good right now. I'm definitely starting to get worn out. It's like 2.5 miles to go, but still about 1,000 of elevation. I had about 1,400 of elevation in 3 miles. And I was thinking, oh, should be nice and gradual. No. It's about 300 and 0.2. That's about 1,500 per mile of elevation, which is right around 27% grade. Pretty steep for the end of the day, especially. So I guess if it comes in spurts, it's okay. It flattens out, but maybe it'll be gradual from here on out to the end. But only 2.5 miles to go. That one definitely got me a little breathy. Had to stop for a second as soon as I did. Nice breeze came down. It's a warm day for sure. Getting worn out for sure. Not necessarily because of the miles, but just the elevation. You know, I'm at I don't know, 5,700 right now with another 1,000 to go. So nice little workout today in these steep hills right here. Woo! They make you feel alive. So my day is done. 22 miles, 6,500 feet of elevation. Not quite dark yet. Gonna set my tent up and cook some food and go to bed. And turn around and do it all again tomorrow. Probably about the same thing tomorrow. 20 something miles and over 6,000 of elevation. Living life, baby.